Before we get into today's Cowboys mailbag, how many years have you been a Cowboys fan? Truly no wrong answer, and for life is also a very valid one. From Mark, a super chat to begin today's show. Hate to say it, but I wouldn't mind tanking this year. We would get a high pick. We might get rid of Dak since he wants number one money and wipe that grin off Jerry Jones's face. So, as I've said before, and I'll repeat this a bunch until the year begins, this is a plan. It is not the plan the Cowboys have done because they don't have a plan. There were two viable paths when the year began. Tank, go win. The Cowboys are kind of doing neither. They're kind of setting themselves up to be the exact same team they've been. 10-ish win team, maybe 12 you play well, maybe 9 if you don't. And you have playoff success, or you have regular success, and the playoffs end up coming and you win a game, and that's maybe the most. Then you lose because your team is a good team, but it's not a top 4 team. It's not a top 2 team in the NFC, and you come up short in the process. Tanking would have helped long-term accomplish that goal. Dallas seems content to do nothing. Also from Mark, it's not that I hate Dak. I just don't believe you ever reset the market with any guy at any position who is not a difference maker. Dak's arm scares no one. I would argue especially from a pre-snap perspective, Dak is a difference maker in that area. Again, you can kind of tell some of those pressures that came early when they try to take some of the stuff off Dak's plate to make it easier on. They're like, nope, we're going to put this back on his plate because the O-line wasn't playing very well. There is a lot of benefit from that perspective. But I would agree the arm is not like a Josh Allen, Mahomes, etc. level. And if you're aiming for the top 5 guy, I also wouldn't put Dak in that category. I'd put him in the top 10 category. From Tony, are the Brandon Aiyuk Cowboys interest in trade? No, it's not. I saw the tweet I think you're acknowledging. Was what, NFL? One of the stupid anonymous NFL Twitter accounts that tries to be insider and just puts out fake information said Aiyuk had demanded a trade and the Cowboys had interest, both of which are false. This team hasn't even paid CeeDee Lamb yet. You think they're going to throw a bag and a first-round pick and more for Brandon Aiyuk? Hell no. That never passed the smell test, and that's how you know people are clinging to their BS narratives of Jerry wants to make a splash. It's not true. It's not true at all. Including draft pick trades this year during the draft, will the Dallas Cowboys make a trade? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comment section right now. Chris B, it's draft time. Cowboys actually have to do something. Yes, they do have to do something. And I look forward to it. They will make more moves on day 3 of the draft than their entire offseason combined. If we count UDFAs, which kind of feels like cheating, but still. They have to do stuff. I'm looking forward to it because they do a pretty good job of drafting, relatively speaking. From Vince, would you feel better about Guyton or Sumatia if Mims, Barton, and Latham are on the board? They already knew better about Smith than anybody at that time. I think when it comes to offensive line, the Cowboys have earned some benefit of the doubt. They typically do a great job drafting round 1 linemen. That is a fact. Personally, I'm never going to be the guy that just says the Cowboys did it, therefore it's good. I'll acknowledge that if they deviate from what I would do. I would have Mims as my top-ranked offensive tackle. Then Latham, I think, would probably be a guard for you. Then Guyton narrowly above Kingsley out of BYU. Barton in the Mims conversation, too. So if they took Guyton or Sumatia over those guys, I'd be kind of disappointed. It's not the pick I would make, but I would give them some benefit of the doubt given how well they've drafted offense line. But do remember, the guys that we had been targeting for the Tyra Smith pick, Kenyon Green, and Zion Johnson, were already gone by that time. So I would feel mostest betterest about it if Guyton and Sumatia were the only ones left at that time. Today's Cowboys Report is sponsored by Mando. Spring into the season with a deodorant that can handle the heat. Mando is clinically proven to work hard all day. And instead of just covering up BO with heavy fragrances, Mando stops odor at the source, stopping the stink from happening in the first place. Created by a doctor, Mando whole body deodorant is powerful enough for the toughest body odor, but gentle enough to use everywhere, allowing you to put Mando on the, let's call them the family jewels, without any worry. The Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash and deodorant wipes or other options, and free shipping. On top of that, you can get $5 off the starter pack by using code CHAT and get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. Now, $5, not much. It's actually 40% off when you use that code CHAT to get the $5 off at shopmando.com. That's code CHAT, C-H-A-T, over at shopmando.com, shopmando.com, and the link will be in the comments section and the description alongside the promo code in the comments and the description. $5 from Gotham Guy. If a true starting left tackle fell to us, thereby keeping us with a guard, would you mind drafting a center with the second round to shore up the O-line? If the right center's there, hell yeah. If Zach Frazier's there, I'm in. Let's do it. No complaints. You know, I'm not going to reach for a center, but I can find a starter in round 2 and get my back in the 3rd round, defense all day 3. That is a fine draft plan to me. From Joey, with all of our holes, how important is it for us to get a 4th top 100 pick? I think if you were to ask the Cowboys, they would say they would love to trade down and get an extra pick. But the board has to fall right and the offers have to be there. What I don't want to do is there's 1 good, maybe 2 good O-linemen left. You trade down, miss on all of them. I can't sacrifice my 1st round pick for a 4th round pick, if that makes sense. I would like to trade down if I could. We'll see what happens come Thursday night. Tom, as someone who's at all the games, what do you think of the athletic freaks, Miles Cole and Tyler Owens? Ooh, good questions. These are Texas Tech defensive backs. I think they go day 3. Owens in particular, I think like worst case for Owens, I think he could be your new CJ Goodwin. And that's what I would actually like to add as a UDFA 7th round pick. Like, this can be my new special teams gunner star. That he's athletic, he's fast, get him downfield. He's not, I think there's some work to do as like an actual defensive back. But the traits are so tantalizing, I think there's special teams value at the minimum. Miles Cole, look, that's a tough one for me. Allow me to read off my player comp for Miles Cole. By the way, 6'6", 278, almost 37-inch arms, and ran a 4.67 40. This dude is a freakazoid athlete. My player comp it's a Madden-created player, or Myles Garrett, but you cheated and turned the attributes down to get him to sign cheaply. Like, that's kind of what happened here. He has 5 career sacks and 1 career pass breakup. Get your hands up there. Dude's a freak. I don't understand how that's possible. He should have lucked into more sacks being that big. Just run straight. So that's what actually kind of scare-roused with him. Oh, he's such a freak. Why was he bad at Texas Tech? Where is the production? Sub 10% pressure rate? Just not very good. Another fun line I don't get to use very often. Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. Not what you're searching for there. $5 from Scott. This was a super thanks, by the way, that came in on one of the on-demand videos. Would it be smart to double dip running back with Wright in the 3rd and Davis in the 5th? If you could accomplish that's Jalen Wright from Tennessee, Ray Davis from Kentucky, hell yeah, I'm in. I think that is an awesome 1-2 punch. I also don't know if either guy gets there. So like many things when it comes to the draft, let's see how the board falls. If it falls that way, perfect. If it doesn't, okay, pivot. Would you double dip at running back? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off in the comments. Daniel, if the Cowboys don't draft a cornerback in this year's class, do you see them bringing back Gilmore on a cheap contract? His market has not gained any traction as of late. Yeah, the longer he goes, the better hope that he ends up coming back. The hope exists at that time. So I am open to it. I would like to do it if they don't draft somebody. There's still a chance he ends up going elsewhere in the end. From Vince, so the Cowboys lost way more than they added to their team. Is there any hope that they got better as a team compared to last season? You know, it kind of reminds me what happened a couple years ago, where they didn't make any moves to get better, and they were just hoping that the results were better. And to a certain extent, they actually ended up being the case there. But it's tough to feel confident about it. Like, I think the goal is they play up to their potential in the playoffs. And even with a worse team, they can go farther than what they did last year. But you look at it on paper and you go, they're not better than what they were last year. Maybe they play better, but they are not better on paper. Are you looking for daily Dallas Cowboys videos? Sometimes multiple times per day. Come to the right spot. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Robert Vasquez, can you see Dak returning in 2025 if Trey Lance lights it up all camp/preseason? Absolutely. Because remember, Lance isn't playing starters in camp or the preseason. He's not going to get any reps with the actual ones, maybe a couple here and there. It's going to be like Lance's goal is to win the backup job. And make no mistake, I hope Lance lights it up in the preseason. I think this would be one of the more exciting preseasons for the Cowboys since Dak was a first-year player. Because you have a noteworthy quarterback who's going to get snaps in preseason games. I hope he plays great. But, does Trey Lance lighting up the Texans' third-string corners really move the needle that much for us? I kind of don't think it should. Daniel, if you had to choose between JPJ and Barton at 24, who would you choose? It's a good question. I'll preface by saying I'm happy with either. Either of those guys, I'm like, great, the medicals checked out on JPJ, let's ride. Medicals didn't check out, you took Barton, great. You have an instant starter at center who's a really freaky athlete. I have Barton narrowly above Jackson Powers Johnson because of those medical uncertainties. But if they're there, worst case, I think they'd be among the top 3 players on my board once the Cowboys are on the clock. So yes, I would be in, but Barton in the end. Jeff, bring back Michael Gallup. No, I don't want to. I'm sorry. It's just Gallup wasn't playing well for a good portion of the past 3 years. Let's see what the young guys can do at a certain point. Let's see what Tolbert can do. Let's see what a draft pick, what Brooks, what Turpin can do. I wish Michael got Gallup. Well, I think the experiment is, and that race has been run in the end. Do you want to bring back Michael Gallup? S for sign or P for pass? Vote in the comments